Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is I, Jolton Joe, coming to you from my back porch on Monday, August the 7th, 2023. It is hotter than a half-buck fox in a forest fire, tell you what. Damn near 100 degrees out here, but I'm sitting in the shade. I was smoking a cigar, fixing to drink a beer. But yeah, it's pretty hot out here. It is hotter than Aphrodite's snatch, I tell you what. All right, but it's so hot, fat guys are making their own gravy. That's how hot it is out here. But anyway, what are you drinking? What are you smoking? As far as what are you smoking is concerned, this is one of my favorite cigars, actually. This is well, the brand name is Hoya, but this is the Hoya Cabineta. Now, as you can see here, it's a double wrapper. So you've got the Connecticut down here at the end, and then you got the Modero down there at that end. Um, and it's probably about, you give me the wrapper here, probably about right there. So you got kind of two different flavors of cigar. But this is one of my just one of my favorite cigars. It's a good, easy smoking cigar. It's kind of light, but it does have that flavor from this end up here, kind of that Maduro end. But this is like a great cigar to have with a cup of coffee, great cigar to have with a beer, great cigar to have with a cocktail or a glass of whiskey. Like, it just works for fucking everything. It's just a damn good cigar. But like I said, it's one of my favorites though. But yeah, the Hoya, once again, the Hoya Cabineta there. All right. Hmm. I don't know if I got enough for smoke rings, but anyway. And what are you drinking? Well, I got a couple of them left, so you know, I'm gonna kill both of them today. But we're gonna go with the old Crawford Bock here. The world. Yeah, well, shit. I gotta zip that back up. There we go. There we go. Zip that back up. The old world champion can. Crawford Bock there. World champion Astros there in the dunk. And I'm gonna use my world champion Astros koozie. And as you can see, I got trophy season on from last year's World Series. I got the gold hat on from this year. I got it all, baby. And even though the Astros are 2.5 games back of the Rangers in the AL West, I figure. Oh, here we go. Right here. Oh, yeah. Ooh, damn. Hello. Cheers, everybody. Mm. Oh, yeah. There we go. Everything tastes better out of a gold can, tell you what. Mm. Well, shit. Okay. Well, shit. Hold on a second. Let me get that. Yeah, I got myself there. Hold on a second. Let me bring everybody back around town. Over Chandler here, man. They gonna tell you what, man. They gonna Boomhauer's and they gonna do a show, man. Tell you what. Boomhauer Sports Show today, man. Tell you what. All right, but anyway. Well, hell, man. Let's first of all talk about the U.S. national women's soccer team. That seems to be the big thing right now. Now, to be completely honest with you, the only thing that I saw, because I where was I at when the Vietnam game was on? Oh, I was at dinner. I was having dinner club when the Vietnam game was on, so I missed it because that was in prime time. I did catch most of the game against the Netherlands, which was a 1-1 draw, if I remember right. I did catch most of that match, and then I did not see any of the last match, whoever the fuck they played. I don't even fucking remember. Well, Portugal. They played Portugal. I didn't see any of that match, and then this because it was on at like 2 a.m. And I could have recorded it and watched it, but I don't like watching really recorded sports because you already know the outcome and like you gotta like avoid everything. Uh, and they made it the round of 16, but they had to face off against Sweden, and Sweden's knocked them out like fucking 3 times at this point, or at least twice before this. And Sweden's good, and but they kind of just limped through group play. They didn't look sharp. They didn't look crisp. Looked like they were playing tight. Of course, got shut out in their last game. Had only scored 4 goals total the entire tournament, which isn't great. And then the game was on at 4 a.m. Central Time. All right, so even 5 a.m. Eastern Time is when the game was on. So I meant to record it, didn't. So and once again, it would have been spoiled for me anyway because I woke up to an ESPN update saying that they had lost. So that's why I hate recording sports, because it's going to get spoiled some way. And I just now actually finished watching the highlights because I wanted to see because everything I read a lot about it, and I wanted to see the highlights for myself. And they did play better. They weren't as tight. They were playing more loose. They did get a lot of shots on goal. I think they had 22 shots. Half of those, 11 of them were on goal. I think Sweden, I think, only had 2 shots and only one on goal. So the U.S. really outshot Sweden. Uh, and I had read this and that they had had opportunities, and I was watching it, and they did. Boy, howdy, did they! A lot of it was just good goaltending by the Swedes, and I can't remember the Swedish goaltender's name, but she ain't bad looking woman either. But I'm just gonna throw that out there to you. And actually, she's a brunette. You know, all these blonde-headed Swedes out there, but yeah, she's a brunette. Anyway, mm, but but she just made some hellacious saves, man. I mean, just hellacious. Uh, I mean, there was a header that she like dove and blocked that was amazing. There was another really good one that she had, and there was a rebound. Rapinoe was kind of there a little bit for it, but it was like just out of her reach. She couldn't put it back in on the rebound. There was a header that went off the crossbar. But like I said, there was just some good goaltending, just good goaltending. So it goes down to penalty kicks, and man, and that's my biggest gripe about soccer is in the knockout rounds where it goes down the PKs because you've spent, at this point 2 hours because you had an hour and a half match. You've had 30 minutes of extra time and nothing's been settled. And so you go to PKs and it's just, it's kind of like kissing your sister. You know what I mean? It's nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants to do it. It's kind of what they have. Like, I mean, I would rather have them go like 8-on-8 and just like open the field up, and maybe do a golden goal at that point, or something to that effect. But PKs is just tough, man. It just sucks. The problem with it is the U.S. had chances to to win the game with PKs. They just needed one more. Rapinoe went high. Another one hit the crossbar or hit the post with it. There was 3 misses. There was another miss that went high, and then it came down. The final kick came down to Sweden, and it looked like the U.S. goalkeeper made the save. She actually deflected it, got a hand on it, deflected it. The ball went up, kind of underneath the crossbar, but she was able to hit it clear. And they had to go to VAR on it because it was so close. Now, in soccer, it's just like hockey, right? In hockey, the entire puck has to cross the line. Same thing in soccer. The entire ball has to cross the line. They go to VAR, and the entire ball was across the line by about yay much. All right, by about that much, the entire ball was across the line. It was like that. It was like literally a fingernail. I mean, it was about that much that it was across, and so Sweden ends up winning on PKs. Um, so the U.S. national team, they got a lot of issues, and I know some people don't like them because of the politics and shit like that, and they just want them to shovel up and shut up and dribble and all that bullshit, which I think is fucking, that's stupid. Now you can agree with their politics or not agree with their politics, that's fine, but they have been very vocal in their things, and that turns about half the country off, and then the other half is supports them. It's just kind of is what it is because that's where we're at politically. Everybody hates each other, so. But just for my play aspect, now this was Rapinoe's last match, of course, and she's 38. I just looked up Alex Morgan. She's 34, so she'll, by the time the next World Cup comes around, I don't know where it's going to be played at. And her birthday's on July the 2nd, so she'll either be 37 or 38, depending on when it's played, or be 37 and turn 38. That's what happened in the last World Cup. Uh, they actually played on her birthday, and against England on real American Independence Day. But anyway, I digress. But that's so she's going to be in her late 30s at this point. Julie Ertz may retire at this point, and so number one, the U.S. women's team, they got to get younger. They got to get new blood in there. And this loss I was reading today was kind of a good point. This loss was kind of a good thing for the young players to remember and to give them something to build on and not want to do this again and not want to lose again. But so that's number one. Number two, the world's catching up. All right, women's athletics worldwide is getting better. Women's soccer is getting better worldwide, and so it's not just now America and for for what women's athletics was. I mean, women have had to fight along a lot in America. Title IX and everything else, and then the U.S. women's team suing them, and everything for stuff, and then the first women's national team playing in hand-me-downs and stuff like that. So all that's so women have dealt with their own stuff here in the United States, but because of things like Title IX and women's athletics over here in the United States was ahead of the world because it's supported and everything. And even though women are behind men's sports, as far as funding and everything like that is concerned, so even though they're still behind here, they were still ahead of the rest of the fucking world. And now that's not the case. Now women's sports are being funded more, and people are getting more invested in them and things like that, which of course is a good thing. But the world's catching up. They're getting old, or some of the players are getting old, and then apparently this coach isn't very good. Now I could tell you jack shit about coaching soccer, man. I mean, last time I played soccer, I was fucking in middle school. Okay, and from watching Ted Lasso, I know some strategery about soccer and the free football and whatever and all that kind of stuff or whatever it was called. But you know, But as far as soccer strategy, is concerned, I don't know a whole lot. But apparently he was making some stupid kind of bench moves, and yeah, you pull Alex Morgan, like he was thinking about penalty kicks, but you pull Alex Morgan out to put Rapino in, and like so you're putting somebody in that's 4 years older in, and then of course Rapino fucking misses the penalty. I think the last time she missed a penalty was like fucking 2011 or something ridiculous like that. Uh, and it's just, and then and he wasn't playing some players properly and things like that. And of course they look like shit in the Olympics. Uh, really since the last World Cup victory, they haven't looked good. They looked bad in the Olympics. They didn't look good in this game. So we're probably going to get a new coach as far as that goes too. So it's going to what's happening with the women's national team. So there you go. There's your U.S. women's national update. As far as that is concerned. Football wise, we had the Hall of Fame game the other day. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not watch any of it. Actually, that's not true. I watched 1% of it, probably less than 1% of it. The only reason I did is the Astros got done playing, and I flipped over to the Hall of Fame game just to kind of fuck with my wife because I wanted to see if she realized what I did. And it took her a little bit because she was kind of playing on her phone, and she just heard sports. And then she looked up, and she just goes, what the fuck is this? So I was like, it's the Hall of Fame game. It's the first preseason game of the year. It's like, I'm not watching that. I just wanted to see your reaction. Uh, but it was the Browns and the Jets. Not that anybody cares. But it's football. It's back, baby. Whatever. Let me get this wrapper off here. Y'all can see this whole cigar here. I don't know why I'm taking this wrapper off this early, but, whatever. I'm just going to do it and get her naked. I'm going to get my cigar naked. There we go. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see how that is. There you go. Woo. There you go. So, cool cigar. I like it. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. Really like this one. Anyway, so as far as that goes, um, so football's underway. We've got training camp going. I'm not a preseason guy. All right, I've never been a preseason guy. I don't watch the preseason. No, I'll watch a little bit of it. Like if we get like a new, if the commies get a new, quarterback. Like I might watch a little bit of just see how Hal does, for instance, if he plays. I want to see what he looks like. If they got Ryan, and then I'll turn it off. Like I don't give a shit what the third string guys fucking look like, or the third string quarterback look. I just don't care. I don't know what the backup punter looks like. Yeah, I just don't give a shit. Okay. And there are football nerds out there that love that shit, and they're watching everything, and they want to see who makes the team. And hey, if you want to do that, God bless you. It ain't for me, man. I just don't care. Like, just let me know when opening kickoff. You know, when the first Sunday's here. You know what I mean? And that first Sunday, you know, just let me know when week one's here. We'll you know, we'll do that. You know, as far as that goes. But I can't get in the preseason. It's just not my cup of tea. So I will, you know, like I said, I might watch a little. You know, if the commies are on, I might watch a little bit of it. But I'm not gonna sit there and try and break down fucking, you know, third string linebacker, or you know, who's fighting for a spot in DB. You know what I mean? I don't care. I don't care. I just fucking care. Um. So as far as that goes, okay. But so yeah, there's that. But yeah, so we had the first one. So you know, so there you go. That's the first preseason game. So yeah, if you play the Hall of Fame game, you get it's actually an extra preseason game. So back in the old days when it was 4 games, if you played in the Hall of Fame game, you actually had 5 preseason games, which that's just stupid. Just be completely fucking honest with you. So now of course with 3 preseason games, you got there would be 4 for the Hall of Fame game. So that's not too bad. But I think at some point here in the near future, probably the next CBA that comes up, we are probably going to get 2 preseason games, which I think is fucking plenty, to be completely honest with you. And we'll get 2 preseason games, and then we'll go to an 18 game schedule. I think is what's going to end up is what's going to happen. All right, and you might end up with 2 buys instead of 1 buy if we're for if you're doing 18 games, or they'll try to get the buys, But yeah, what they probably could do, to be completely honest with you, is just fucking middle of the fucking season, man. Like if you're playing 18 games, like play 6 weeks, or not 6 weeks. That's only 12. Play 8 weeks and then just take a week off, and then have everybody fucking off at the same time, middle of the season. Almost do it like F1 does with like the summer break. Basically, just middle of the season, everybody take off, kind of like an all-star break for baseball, right? Or the all-star break for basketball. Just middle of the season, everybody's fucking off, and then you go back and you play the other 8 games. Is kind of what I would do. I mean, I don't know where Thanksgiving kind of falls in that shit, but that's kind of what I would do. But just me personally. I mean, if I was the commissioner, that's what I would fucking do. But and you wouldn't have to worry about scheduling buys and all that. So just take a week off. The NFL just take a week off. Take a week off. Be fine. But I think that's where eventually going. And I mean, they scrimmage with each other and stuff. I mean, and you got training camps. So 2 preseason games is plenty. And you got training camp to get, stuff. And I mean, week 1 always looks ugly because, people are out of sync and stuff like that. It's the first game, but the first game, I mean, it's always been like that, even when they were playing 4 preseason games. Because it got to the point guys were getting fucking hurt in the preseason. Quarterbacks were fucking, so coaches, were getting hurt and blowing out ACLs and shit. Fucking, I think Tom Brady got fucking hurt in the preseason game. I mean, so it's just like, well, let's not do this anymore. So, so that the starters barely play, get some stuff. But some of these guys who have been playing for a long time, they really, you just knock off the rust a little bit and you're fine. You know what I mean? It's just better for the rookies and stuff like that. And the guys fighting for positions, but other than that, preseason's kind of eh. So that's how we got going on in the NFL as far as that goes. I don't know if there's anything else really going on here. Hold on, let me pause real quick. I got a text from my wife. All right, we're back. I was just using ESPN updates. Apparently, Messi's been killing it in MLS, which of course we all knew he would. But that's kind of what's going on with that. Let's see. Yeah, not too much going on with that. And let me see if we got any other sports stuff going on. I don't think anything that happened over the weekend. I mean, Bryce and Desha both shot a 58. That was kind of crazy. Golf. NHL's off. Nothing going on with any college football or anything. Yeah, all right. Well, looks like here it's going to be time for some baseball talk. hmm. All right. All right. I'll tell you what. Let's kind of run down. Let's run down the standings first. I'll tell you what. Let's do that. Um, right now, Baltimore is leading the AL East. They've got a three-game lead on Tampa. The Astros are off today. They're at the White House today, as a matter of fact. And then they are going to be in Baltimore tomorrow. And they got a three-game set with the Orioles Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday before coming back to Houston for a little three-game homestand with the Angels. And I think that's when Verlander is going to make his second Astros debut, home debut, I should say. Looks like it's going to be like Friday. But Tampa's three back. As far as the division goes, it's a two-team race at this point. Baltimore's got the three-game lead, but Toronto's 7.5 back. Yankees are 12 back. Boston's 12.5 back. Yankees and the Astros split this four-game series that they had. Um, the Astros were kind of lifeless in the Thursday night, and the Yankees jumped out 3-0 on them. Astros came back, tied it up 3-3, and then in the ninth, Presley just gave up a leadoff double, and then fly ball, Vance the runner, fly ball, score runner. That was pretty much the ball game. And that happened in the eighth or the ninth. Fuck, I don't remember. I can't remember if they walked it off or not. They might have walked it off. That might have been the ninth. Anyway, but yeah, that's was going to get anything going. And then the offense finally got going. They won 7-3. That game was on Apple TV. Finally, Astros won 7-3. And then the offense did absolutely shit on Saturday. The Yankees won that one 3-1. Both offenses were a little stagnant, but yeah, I mean, they just Javier gave up 3 runs, and or was that Thursday night when Javier pitched? No, Javier pitched Thursday. Who the fuck pitched? Brown pitched Friday. Did Framber pitch? No, Framber didn't pitch. Oh, Verlander pitched. That's right. Verlander made his Astros debut. Holy shit. Verlander actually wasn't bad. Gave up 2 runs. Got through 7 innings. Gave up only 2 runs through 7 innings. Quality start. Altuve hit a home run, and that was pretty much the Astros' offense. They had 2 fucking hits the entire fucking game. That was fucking horseshit. And then the next day, Dustin changes the lineup, and which he should have fucking went with Friday's lineup Saturday anyway. But anyway, I digress again. But so what ended up happening after that is, and then Sunday, yesterday was a fucking crazy game, man. Betts woke up. Jake Myers hit 2 home runs, both 3-run shots, so he had 6 RBI. And Maldi went deep, and somebody else went deep because they hit 4 home runs in that game. Shit, I can't remember who else went deep. Wasn't McCormick? No, Maldi went deep. Myers went deep twice. Did Chas go deep? No, Jordan went deep. That's who it was. Jordan went deep. And then Urquidy coming back off of the IL. Yeah, he came off of the Urquidy came off of the IL and pitched okay. And then kind of lost command, and ended up walking 2 guys on 8 straight pitches. Also gave up a bloop single, and they gave up another single, which ended up scoring a run. So they pulled him. Maton came in with the bases loaded, hits the first guy with a 3-2 count. That scored a run. And then he walked the next 2 guys in, both on 3-2 counts. That scored 2 runs right there. That actually tied the game at 5 at that point. Astros ended up walking 12 Yankees. The Yankees, for their part, left 15 guys on base, and the Astros ended up holding on 9-7. It was crazy. It was crazy. Damn near 3.5 hours, and that was with the pitch clock. Imagine how long that thing would have been 5.5 hours without the pitch clock. But they were able to do that. So, and Rodon had to come out because of he kind of tweaked his hammy and shit. So, it was a crazy fucking game yesterday, man. So anyway, so that's kind of where the Astros and the Yankees did. But they split. In the Central, The Twins are actually 5 games over 500 right now. 522 winning percentage. They're the only team that's over 500, whereas at least everybody in the East is over 500. In the Central, it's just the opposite. The Twins are the only team over 500. Twins, that is the Twins division, I think. The Guardians are now 4.5 back. Detroit's 9 back. Chicago's 14 back. Royals are 23 back. And then, of course, in the West, it's really a two-horse race there, too. Texas is a 2.5 game lead on the Astros. Texas swept the Marlins over the weekend. And after they got swept last weekend by the Padres. And who the fuck the Rangers play before that? Oh, the White Sox. I think the White Sox won 1 game. Did they win a game? I don't even know if they won a game. They might not have. Rangers might have swept their ass too. White Sox are horrible. Let's see. Texas is what? Where are they? We have 7-3 for the last 10. I think that sounds about right. Yeah, whatever. So it's really a two-horse race there. Seattle's 6 back. Angels are now 10.5 back. They're making all those trades. They got Giolito. They got a Cron, a couple other guys back, trying to make the playoffs, and they're just slipped further and further back. They're 10.5 back now. Oakland's 34 back because it's Oakland. They've only won 32 games at this point, and that's who the Rangers played starting now. They got 4 games there with Oakland in Oakland, so Astros better fucking win. So that's all I got to say about that. All right. Atlanta continues to be the best team in baseball. Atlanta is 70-39, the first team, 270 wins. They've got the East clinched already for all intents and purposes. Philly's 10.5 back. Miami's 14 back. Mets 21 back. Fucking Mets, Jesus Christ. Nats are 22.5 back. The Central, we've got a 3-team race in the Central. We got Milwaukee with a 1.5 game lead over both the Cubs and the Reds, but the Cubs and Reds are right there together. Pittsburgh's 9 out. Seattle's 11 out. In the West, it's basically a 2-team race. You got the Dodgers. They got a 4-game lead over the Giants as far as that goes, and that's basically you got. D-backs are 8.5 back. Padres 10 back, and Colorado 20.5 games out of first place. You imagine being like a Rockies fan or a Pittsburgh fan or a Nats fan right now. Fuck, man. I just don't even know how those teams, fan bases are doing it. All right, let's go to the wild card race. All right. In the American League, Tampa, they have the first wild card spot. They have a 4.5 game lead over the Seattle Mariners right now, who are the 4th wild card, or it's just a 4.5. Well, they might be 4.5 against Toronto. I don't know. I can't remember how they do that. But anyway, they're plus 4.5. All right, and then Houston's a game up. Yeah, it must be on Toronto. I think they're 4.5 up on Toronto, I think is what it is. So the Rays are 4.5 games up on Toronto, the 3rd wild card, because Houston does have a 1-game lead over Toronto for the 2nd wild card. It says +1 right now, so that's where that's at. Really, that 3rd wild card is where you want to be. That 3rd wild card is going to play. If you're a wild card team, you want to be in that 3rd one. Look at fucking Minnesota. Minnesota hasn't even won a playoff game. A game. Not a series. A game since, I don't know, 2003 or 20. I don't know. It's been a long ass time since they even won a playoff game. But so there you go. So your top 3 wildcard teams: Tampa, Houston, Toronto. Seattle is just 2.5 games back of Toronto. Yankees 4.5 games back. Man, after actually seeing the Yankees and Judge DH'd 1 game, I think, and then he was off 1 game, and then did jack shit really the entire series against the Astros. Stanton was 0 for fucking 6 yesterday. And then their pitching is just shambles. They get Cortez off of the IL. Rodon goes back. He gets a sore hammy. He might be going back. I mean, Garrett Cole's the only guy they got right now. Severino, the Astros blew up Severino. So it's just, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say stick a fork in the Yankees because it's the fucking Yankees, and they didn't do much of the trade deadline. They're just kind of sitting there. So we'll see what happens with the Yankees. Red Sox are 5 back. And really after, I mean, so those are really the teams that are vying for a wild card. All right, outside of the three that already have, there's three more teams. You got Seattle, the Yankees, and the Red Sox. At this point, the Angels are now 7 back, and like I said, once you get to like plus over 5 games out, it's really hard to make up ground, especially with less than 2 months to play in the season now. I mean, we're down to what 50 something games at this point, and so I mean that's kind of where you're at. I mean, the Angels are 7 back, Cleveland 8.5 back, Detroit 13. I mean, it's just, and it just gets further. As far as the National League goes, we got San Francisco. I'm fixing around out of time here. San Francisco, make this one quick. San Francisco's got the number one wild card. Actually, they're tied with Philadelphia right now, so it's San Francisco, Philadelphia, and then tied for that third wild card spot right now would be the Cubs and Cincinnati. Marlins just half a game out. Arizona just a game and a half out. San Diego 3 games out. After that, it's pretty much fucking useless after that. So there you go. All right. All right. We're almost out of time. We'll leave it there. Have a good week, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the week. Remember, find me on Twitter, JJ Sports Show. That's at JJ Sports Show 63, at JJ Sports Show 63. We'll talk to you again next week. Appreciate you. Cheers, everybody. All right. See you next week.